Hey there everybody, it's Linnea for Miss Ink Stamps, and today I have an overview of the October 2021 Stencil Week release. I'm going to be taking you through an in-depth look at all of the stencils that Miss Ink is releasing, and there are a bunch of them. There are 11 new stencils, including some basics with stripes and plaids. There are some new patterns, and then there are some new seasonal stencils as well. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look. Up first is the lumberjack plaid, and throughout this video I will use just a basic color and stencil out the design so that you can see them in action. I love this mix of solid and kind of little hashed stripes. Next up is another plaid. This one is perfectly plaid, and this is just a classic diagonal plaid, definitely different from the lumberjack plaid, and both of these are awesome staple plaids. I love how chunky this pattern is and how much of a design you're going to really be able to showcase on your cards. Next is Between the Lines, and this one is a really fun stencil. It has these diagonal kind of shortened hash marks almost, and here you can see I've stenciled it just once, just straight on a card base. This one I stenciled and then I rotated and used a different color, and you can build your own kind of hash style plaid. There's a lot of possibilities with this Between the Lines stencil. Next is another classic. This is the candy stripe, and of course I stenciled this one in red because I think it looks like a peppermint stick, but you can do this in any color and have just a simple kind of multi-striped background. It's another staple that I know I'm going to love in my craft room, and I think you will too. Another one is the diagonal stripes. I absolutely love a stripe because there's a lot you can do with it. This is a diagonal stripe, but you can turn this and have it be horizontal or vertical on your card. Here's one where I just did the stripe as it's intended. Then another one where I stenciled the stripe and then I rotated the stencil and created a fun plaid. I really encourage you to take your stencils and rotate them and shift them and see what kind of different patterns you can make. Here's another one that you can rotate and shift to build your own background. This is the Fine Lines stencil. This is one that I recommend you use some kind of fixative spray, like a pixie spray, because check out how detailed these lines are. It's a gorgeous background. I stenciled it once in light blue, and then I rotated that stencil again and ink blended in a darker blue to create this really fun checkered plaid pattern. So those are the basic stencils. Coming up next are some patterns. This one is the windmill. This one's just a really fun and whimsical background. I love that windmill pattern. I think it's really great for a background, and again, this is another one that's going to allow you to really showcase a bold background depending on what color you ink blend with. Up next is the Big Paws stencil, and this one is one that I blended with a rainbow of inks because I just thought this background was the cutest. This is a stencil that would pair really well with the Rub-a-Dub Doggies stamp set from Miss Ink Stamps, or even the Pet Sympathy stamp set. Coming up next is the Lava Lamp. This is another really fun pattern. You can foil this stencil design or use some gels or even just a bold color ink, and you're going to have a really fun pattern for your background. Now let's move into some seasonal style stencils. Coming up is a really gorgeous stencil. This is the Fall Mandala stencil. I love this one. I love circular stencils because there's a lot you can do with this. Here I've just placed it in the center of a card base and blended some ink across, and you can see how finely detailed this stencil is. You're going to get a gorgeous pattern. This is another one that we recommend using some sort of temporary adhesive spray so that you're sure to get all of that fine detail. The last stencil from this release is the Frosty Flakes stencil. This is one that, depending on how you color it, could be some gorgeous snowflakes, or you could ink up just the center of each of these little flakes with one color and then blend over with a secondary color, and this would be a really pretty floral stencil. So depending on how you color this up, could be anything you want. So here's just a quick overview of all of the new 11 stencils from Miss Ink Stamps. All of these stencils are available now in the Miss Ink Stamps shop, and I will leave a link to the shop in the video description below. Happy shopping! Thanks so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to the Miss Ink Stamps YouTube channel where you'll see these stencils and more in action, and to join us over on Facebook in the new Miss Ink's Pad Facebook group. We'll see you there. Bye!